Well, I'm joined now by Paul Slavin from Devon and Somerset Fire and Rescue. You've said that this is the worst road traffic collision anyone can remember. What is the scene?
That's correct. It is an incident involving about 26 vehicles, including 6 lorries. There are reports of up to 30 casualties, including 10 people with what's described as life-changing injuries. So it is an incident of incredible magnitude, really, that I certainly can't remember in my time with the fire service.
What was the scene that greeted firefighters when they arrived?
Well, they were met on scene by a motor vehicle collision. At least 4 of the vehicles were on fire, including 2 lorries. 4 people had to be cut out of vehicles using hydraulic rescue equipment. There were casualties immediately kind of apparent to firefighters and the other emergency services. So it would have been a very difficult incident to have dealt with.
Are you aware of there being casualties in the cars that were on fire? Were there still people in the burning cars when the firefighters arrived?
I'm not aware of that. I know that there were casualties that had to be removed by firefighters, but I don't know if those were the same vehicles that were on fire.
And we've had one report of wet weather there tonight and foggy. What were the conditions as far as you were aware of it?
Yeah, the conditions were bad in the Bridgewater area. At the time, we had some serious flooding incidents in Bridgewater town centre a few hours earlier. Of course, Bridgewater Carnival is being held tonight, or was held tonight as well, which meant that the roads would have been extremely busy. So those would have made driving conditions quite difficult.
What's the latest situation on the road at the moment? Are there still people trapped in their cars?
We believe everyone's now been released from the cars. The emergency services are still on the scene, putting out fires and making sure everyone is getting the medical treatment they need. The M5 is closed and is likely to be closed for at least another 24 hours, and the police are working hard to try to remove some of the tailbacks that have built up and get those vehicles turned round and allow them to leave the scene.
And as we talk to you, Paul, we're running these extraordinary pictures of these vehicles on fire, a whole line of vehicles ablaze. Are they still on fire on the carriageway, or have all the fires been extinguished?
Firefighters are still dealing with the vehicles. Fires have been put under control, but firefighters will be on scene for some time, damping down and make sure they are fully extinguished.
How hard is it for firefighters when they turn up to events like this? They've had their training, they know how to deal with fires, they know how to deal with casualties, but presumably these kind of scenes where there are multiple casualties and distressing circumstances must be very difficult for the firefighters personally to cope with.
Yes, many of them will have never experienced an incident of this nature before, but you're quite right, they've got the training and the equipment they need to deal with it, and we do have trained diffusing officers available, and the crews who have had to deal with the incident will be able to speak to a diffusing officer afterwards if they need to deal with the situation in that way.
And in terms of the severity of this incident, the worst road traffic collision anyone can remember, you've been quoted as saying?
That's right. There's not been an incident of this magnitude in Somerset for some time. The amount of vehicles involved and unfortunately the casualties that have occurred is unique in recent years. And
the casualties, where have they been taken to?
They've been taken to hospitals in the immediate area, particularly in the larger towns around the area of the accident.